Indonesia has a problem. Tsunamis. The last one, just 3 days before Christmas, killed more than 400 people. Fifi tells me she's only alive because she and her 7-year-old son just happened to be awake when the wave hit.
And we ran all the way up to field. Yes.
Her father-in-law survived with a head injury and a broken leg. I'm no doctor, but that leg looks pretty infected. The thing is, stories like theirs aren't all that rare here. Indonesia sits on the Ring of Fire. It's a hotbed of volcanic and seismic activity. It's basically a magnet for tsunamis. And each one is a tragedy, don't get me wrong, but it does have an element of routine to it by now. And they have an early warning system, but Indonesians keep dying. After days of talking with people who'd been completely blindsided, I started to wonder, why aren't they better at getting people out of harm's way? This is the Jakarta office where they try to spot tsunamis before they hit. There's a network of tidal gauges, buoys, seismographs, and sirens. This model shows how it works, at least in theory. All of the info flows through this control room.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Winnie's team is here 24/7, 7 days a week, watching.
Because we don't know when the earthquake occurred and we don't know still when the tsunami will come. When the earthquake occurred, there is a blink of the sensor of the location of the source.
The team then has 5 minutes to analyze the data. If they think a tsunami is likely, they pass it on to regional authorities. They're the ones who make the call about whether to put out a tsunami warning. The system isn't perfect. The buoys haven't worked in years. The communication towers that send the alerts often get destroyed by the initial impact. Perhaps most critically, all of this equipment can only monitor for one kind of tsunami.
So there's volcanic earthquakes?
Yes, volcanic earthquakes.
And there are seismic earthquakes?
Right, yes.
Are you tracking volcanic earthquakes here?
Not really.
And that's a problem. Because although most tsunamis are generated by earthquakes, the rest can be caused by pretty much anything that displaces a massive amount of water. Volcanic eruptions, underwater landslides, even, in theory, meteorites. Which means that even on a perfect day, Indonesia's early warning system is still only going to catch about 80% of tsunamis. That kind of blew my mind, so I called up Mika McKinnon, a researcher, geophysicist, and all-around good explainer of disaster stuff.
Is there going to be another tsunami?
At some point, yes. There's already been a couple this year. Will it be generated by earthquakes or will it be generated by volcanoes? Well, yes. Over long enough time spans, both of those things are going to happen.
When it does happen, someone has to be watching. And in the future, it might be these guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi, Sarah.
Right now, they're college students studying geophysics. But in a few years, they may be the ones responsible for issuing the warnings.
I hope that from this disaster, the agency can improve their system, their method to mitigate this disaster.
You guys are the future geophysicists. What are you going to do differently?
Obviously, it's all about installing the advanced notice equipment, but also you have to drill the people.
Maybe we can use social media also.
You can use what?
Social media to inform people that there's a disaster coming.
Do you think that the government is doing a good job warning people who live along the coast?
You know that they are experienced with these kinds of disasters, but there's still things to improve.
They have done their best, and now it's our turn to do the rest.
The task of monitoring is complicated by Indonesia's geography. A nation of more than 17,000 islands has a massive coastline. Thousands and thousands of miles that are particularly vulnerable to nature's fury. Just 12 miles from the cafe where I met the students, people in this northern Jakarta neighborhood don't have the luxury of pondering the intricacies of their early warning system. They work on the water, harvesting green mussels.
Do you feel safe living so close to the coast?
Of course I'm afraid, but I have to live here because my job is here.
For many who make their living from the sea, geography decides their destiny. Moving further inland simply isn't an option.
Do you trust the government to tell you if a tsunami is coming?
I do, because they have the equipment.
But if the past is anything to go by, what they have may not be enough to warn people about the next tsunami, which in Indonesia is almost never as far away as one might hope.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.